deck. Let's create a new deck first. For that, go to your content, add a new deck, and pick a blank presentation. Let's first save this deck. And we could change the text on the deck. And we'll save it. Next, we need to add a model from a modeling tool into 3Deck. To do that, we'll use our preferred tool, which is Blender. In Blender, I've created a simple block object, and we need to export this into 3Deck so that it can be added in 3Deck. Before we are able to export it, we need to first create a folder, call it 3Deck export, create a folder under it called add-ons, and have the 3Deck exporter add-on code under it. Once we have that ready, we could go into Blender, set the preferences, and under file paths, set the scripts path to the path where we have created the add-ons folder. And once we've done that, we'll close Blender, quit Blender first, and open it again. We're back in Blender. Here, if you click on add-ons, start typing 3Deck, and you should see the 3Deck exporter add-on. Enable it first and set it up with our email address and the upload access code. So our email address would be and for the access code, we have to go to 3Deck. Under security, we can create the asset token. I've set it to my token here. I can copy that, go back to Blender, paste it here, and so now we have the email address and the upload code set up in Blender. This enables Blender to export files directly into the 3Deck asset system. Go to File. Let me open the Blender file that I want to export. Click on File, Export, Export to 3Deck, and select Export to 3Deck. That uploads the model to 3Deck Asset System. If I now go back to 3Deck, go to the editor, I'll create a new model here. I'll set the model scale to 0.2 on all three axes so that the model will not be too large when I import it. So I import the model, and now I have it in 3Deck. I could move the model around in the 3Deck editor itself, and I could position it where I'd like. So let me put it on the left side of the screen. And if I save it, if I run a preview of this model, this scene, you'll see that the model has been imported. So that's a quick way to get models from Blender into 3Deck in a few keystrokes. Now let's go back to Blender, open another model, and this model has animations enabled. So here's the model, and I can see the animation by pressing play. So it's just a plunger moving within a cylinder. So it's a simple model again. I go to Export, Export to 3Deck, and that exports the model into a GLB file and imports it automatically into the 3Deck asset system. So if I look at the asset system, I'll see that my new asset has been imported as well. I'll close it, and let's add that model to 3Deck. First, I'll set the scale to 0.1 again to ensure that the size is somewhat appropriate for this scene. I'll select the model, and now I have the model uploaded here. As you'll see, this model is model requires some rotation before it looks somewhat acceptable. So I can set the rotation here. I can bring it closer to the point of view of the camera, or I could move it to the side. So the model has been placed in the scene. I save this again and I run the preview. And you'll see that my original model is here, and the new model that I've exported from Blender and imported here has also been correctly brought into 3Deck. So this is a quick and easy way to get Blender models into 3Deck and assemble complex scenes using assets created from an external system like Blender. If you need to publish this scene for the whole world to see, you could go to File, Sharing, set it to Public, and you can give it a sample. It has to be a unique, give the sample a name that has to be a unique alias, and let me just say Blender. And that is the link you can now distribute to your friends to have them take a look at what you created. So if I open that link, this is what you would see. Enjoy.